The older I get, the more I realise that I'm very much my most content self when our life has a little bit of the outdoors in it. I was yearning for fresh air, craving some time outside, and as soon as we waved goodbye to January, I made it my mission in February to try to get outside some more. I'm Grace, and my husband of 4 years is Oliver, but mostly these days we are known as Mama and Dada by our little boys, Elliot, who is 2 years old, and Jasper, who is 1. To get outdoors in winter often still requires a lot of effort, especially with young kids. It's not like summer where you slip some sunscreen on and sandals and out you go. Getting outside involves a hefty task of cladding up in lots of layers, Wellington boots, often the snowsuits for the boys. But we eased ourselves in with some tidying and toys in the garden one weekend. Gradually increasing up to daily walks when the weather was dry, with the odd park visit thrown in here and there. The sun has even graced us with its presence a few times, which has well and truly lifted everyone's spirits and was very needed. It's just been so lovely to do something that isn't in the four walls of your home, or like having to do something that's indoors. Winter can feel so restricting at times when it's cold and rainy, and I think that if winter was dry and you could still get out and about, I wouldn't mind it half as much. So in today's video, I'm giving you a chatty update to fill you in on the gaps since we last spoke. Pray, good boy. Say cheese. Cheese. Both napping, and I thought I would just chat to the camera for a bit. So currently it's the day after Valentine's Day. Actually, it's a Wednesday, and I just thought I would chat on a vlog because it's been a while, as I say, and I felt like vlogging really. I haven't had a little chatty update with you for a little while since Elliot started nursery, and I just thought I'd like fill you in on what's been going on. I don't really do like normal vlogs that much anymore because although I include the children in my vlogs and stuff, I don't want to like I've kind of come to this stage where I don't want to overshare their life, and it's easier to kind of like just put snippets of what's been going on. Like the other day we went to Wildwood, which we went there last year. It's like a zoo, but it's kind of woodland type animals that you'd find like in the woods, sort of bears, wolves. Hopefully not find bears in the woods here, but yeah, and it's the perfect size for the toddler age, because it's not massive. Like Elliot walked the whole way round and Jasper walked a fair chunk of it, and they're both quite young really, so it's perfect size for young children. And I wasn't vlogging, but I took the GoPro and I just filmed a little bit while we went round, and that way I can kind of film little clips while not feeling like I've got to vlog, I've got to put the camera in their face. I can just kind of like film a little bit while still enjoying the moment. I hope that makes sense anyway. So that's kind of like the style that I go for these days with vlogs. And also it's really difficult to do like a traditional normal vlog, like pick the camera up, oh we're doing this, we're doing that, because they are just full on at the minute. If you're new around here, then I've got Elliot, who will be 3 in May, and I've got Jasper, who's 18 months. So 2 like fully fledged toddlers, they're on the go. And yeah, it would be really difficult to kind of do a normal vlog, and I do miss it sometimes. Like sometimes I think, oh, I should just like vlog today. Not that there's been like loads going on, but I feel as though since we turned a corner into February, we've done quite a bit with the children. Like we've had some like drier weather, which has been amazing, and you can probably tell today it's so sunny. We've had 3 days of sunshine. I've got washing out on the line. Like it's like I feel like a new woman. We've had 3 days of sun and I feel so much better for it. Like I say, we took the kids out the other day. I'd had a day off work, so we just took them there to Wildwood. They've been out in the garden, we've been to the park with them, and it just makes so much of a difference. Like when the sunshine is still very muddy, hence like they're out in snowsuits quite a lot still, and welly boots are essential, but it's just so nice to have the sun and see the sun. Like everyone's been like so much more cheerful, and we've really needed this sunshine, so I hope it stays, even though there is like a little bit of talk of some colder weather again, but hopefully we won't get that in the southeast of the country. So yeah, it's just been so nice to see the sunshine and I feel a lot better. I think I said in the last vlog that like I'd been struggling a little bit, like mentally and like just emotionally, just found like January quite hard really. But I'm feeling so much better just to have the sun shining, and I'm trying to kind of like motivate myself to get the boys out, try and do as much with them now that they're past the baby phase. Obviously they're both now proper toddlers. I just want to try and do as much as we can with them. It's slowly getting a little bit easier. Obviously it's still quite difficult because it's still quite challenging having 2 like toddlers so close together, but I want to do some things like I'm at the minute I'm kind of like looking into, oh sorry that was really close then, I'm looking into getting them some like getting swimming with them a little bit more. I think our local council offer like a free swim card for children, so I'm going to try and sign up for that, because swimming can be like, well, everything's quite expensive, and I want to try and do things that are like within our budget and still doing things with them. So if I can see about getting that, I might try and do like some swimming with them a little bit more often, just to get them, and it's such a good valuable life skill to know how to swim. So I always imagined when I had children that they would be like, I'd take them swimming when they were really young, but obviously I had Elliot like in the height of COVID, and that never happened, and then had another baby, and then the thought of taking 2 swimming to begin with was really frightening. We've done it a few times now, so I want to try and get them used to going swimming a little bit, and that's quite a nice activity to do with them. And something that I haven't actually spoken about like on my vlogs very much, I feel like, is if you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably see quite a bit now that last year I signed back up to a gym. I've always worked out, I've always been a member of a gym, but I didn't go to, like, when I was pregnant, it was obviously COVID, and then I was pregnant, like I had my boys so close together, so I didn't go to the gym for 2 years, which was the longest time that I hadn't been because I'd been a member of a gym for like over 10 years. So I had like 2 years off the gym, and I got back into it last year, and since January I have been so on it, and I feel really good for that. I've been going out to the gym probably 2 or 3 times a week, which is really, really good. I feel like as a mum that is awesome to get to the gym 2 or 3 times a week. It's so good. And I've been really trying to like get back into it, and I've been really enjoying it, so I feel good for that too. Like I say, it's not even something that I've spoken about a lot as like on YouTube, even though it's a really big part of my life, because it has been like I say, I've done it for so long. Like I think I've done a couple of videos talking about it, but let me know if you'd like to hear a little bit more about like fitnessy stuff, because I know this channel is really heavily based on mum life, cleaning, food hauls, but obviously I feel like the gym part of me is the old me, the me before being a mum, and that's why it's quite a good thing for me to have, because you do lose your identity quite a bit as a parent, and I feel like I've got a little bit of me back. Like I go to the gyms in the evenings when the kids are asleep. I feel like if I went when they were awake, I'd feel really guilty, like I shouldn't be doing it. I know that you are allowed time away from your children, but I want to enjoy my kids when they're young as well. So it's quite a balancing act, isn't it, like being a parent? But yeah, I'm loving the gym. I'm loving the sunshine. I'm feeling really good today. Hopefully you can tell. And I thought I'd just do a little chatty update because it's been so long. It's also, I thought I'd let you know how Elliot's getting on with nursery. He's really enjoying it, I think, once he's there. Like the first day that we dropped him off, what they do is it was like they start off going in for an hour, then if that goes well the next week they'll do 2, and then it increases kind of thing until they're ready to go for a full session. And he was doing really well, like the first few times, like because it was kind of new, like he was off. But I think the last 2 times where he's like really known what to expect, like, oh, I'm going to be dropped off by mum and mum's going to go now, he had a bit of a wobble the last couple of times. Like when I dropped him off, he was really sad last week, which was horrible, because even though like I'm not dropping him off because I'm going to work or anything, I'm just dropping him off to kind of like get him socialised. It's still such a horrible thing when you're like handing your child over to a stranger. They're really upset, and obviously to kind of like to make it a bit of a smoother transition, they don't really want you hanging around like, oh, cuddling them, and they want you to like drop them off and get out so that they can handle like the nursery staff can kind of like ease them back into nursery. But I've had reports back that he's absolutely fine once he's in, but that initial kind of dropping off hasn't been very nice. But I suppose it's such a new thing for him. Another thing that I haven't ever really spoken about a great deal is that we literally like, it's both me and Oliver, like we don't leave the children with anyone. I feel very strongly about the fact that I've chosen to have my children and I want to be the ones to look after them. The kind of job that we do, we can work around our children. So when I'm at work, Oliver's got them, and vice versa. Like today, Oliver's at work, so I've got the children, and I feel like I want to be responsible for looking after my children, and I don't want to put them, like I don't want to palm them off to anyone else. I feel like you are the best people to look after your children, like, and I rarely leave them with anyone. They occasionally have a little bit of time with my parents on their own, but not that often. Like usually it's with us and other people, just because they are my responsibility, and I don't want to be passing them on to other people. I know that that's absolutely fine if other people do it, but that's just personally like the way that we've always been with the kids. We do a lot of looking after them, so we don't get a lot of time to ourselves, but that's fine. We've chosen to have children, and that's kind of like the way that I feel about it personally. So for Elliot to then go to nursery, have me drop him off and him like be with some complete strangers, it's such a big change and a new thing for him to get his head around. So I'm not, you know, it's totally normal for him to feel a little bit like upset when I hand him over, and totally natural. And he'll get used to it the more he goes. He's only going for 1 morning a week, so I feel like that's quite a good like way to ease him into nursery. And then if he enjoys it, maybe do a little bit more as he gets a bit older. I'm not really sure, but yeah, he's doing, like, they said that he's so confident, and like we've always said that he's a really confident boy, and like I say, once he's there he really enjoys it, but by the time we pick him up he's like just so frazzled, and yeah, he looks so tired, bless him. So yeah, he's been enjoying that, and it's also been so lovely to have like a little bit of one-to-one with Jasper. To be honest, it's something that maybe I said to Oliver that we should try and do. Like, we should try it, like when we're all home together, we're all just together. So like we should maybe try it every now and then, just to have a little bit of time like with one child, because it just always feels like we've just always got the two of them, which is nice for them because they've got each other, but it also means they don't get that one-to-one. And I feel like we've never had that one-to-one with Jasper because they're so close together in age. We had 14 months with Elliot on his own, and he had like all that undivided attention, but we've never had like one-to-one with Jasper. So this has literally been the first time that I've had one-to-one time with Jasper, and it's been really nice. I've been to like, I try and like get him out and do some things with him, and yeah, it's been really, really good. So I'm feeling good at the minute. Feeling a lot more positive. I know that I've been talking for ages, but I just thought I'd do a little update for you because I haven't vlogged for a while. And what else? Was there anything else? Maybe also, while I've got you here and I'm going back to what I was talking about a minute ago, like losing your identity a little bit as a parent, and like body image and gym and stuff like that. Like my body kind of like resumed to normal quite quickly after having the boys, really. I didn't, like I say, because I didn't even go back into exercise straight away. Like, I just gave it loads of time. I feel like breastfeeding really helped me get back to my pre-baby body. Not that your body's ever the same again after you have kids, but the breastfeeding helped. I breastfed both the boys for a year. But one thing that I really I'm quite body positive. I always try to be, even like when my weight goes up and down. I don't watch my weight, but obviously you can feel in your clothes and stuff. One thing that I didn't really like was my belly button. It got so stretched from my pregnancies. I don't know if it's because I had the boys so close together, it didn't have time to kind of recover, really. I'm not really sure. But it popped, my belly button popped so much when I was pregnant, and it just stretched and got really big. I'll try and I'll see if I've got any clips of my belly button random to prove to you how much it popped. It just left my belly button a bit like stretched out and not very nice. And I used to have my belly button pierced. I had it pierced when I was really young, actually. Like, it's quite bad, actually. I think I was like 12 when my dad let me have my belly button pierced. But he was like, I'll let you have your belly button pierced if you never get a tattoo. And as a 12-year-old, I was like, yeah, sure. I actually haven't got any tattoos because I personally just feel like I'm too kind of indecisive when it comes to tattoos. But yeah, I've had my belly button pierced since I was 12, and it closed up when I had the boys. I'd taken it out before I had them anyway, but like, I think the stretching of my belly button really finished the process off. So I got my belly button re-pierced recently, which I'd been umming and I'd like been kind of like on the fence about doing it, and I was like, no, do you know what? I'm gonna get my belly button pierced because I feel like it might make me feel a little bit more confident about my belly button. It kind of distracts all of the loose skin, and I feel really good about it. I'm really pleased that I got it done. I got that done back at the end of January, so I've had it, I think, about 3 weeks now. So I'm really pleased that I got that done. I know that's so random, but I feel like it might just be something to make me feel a bit better about my belly button again, because it's kind of like just the one thing that I was a bit insecure about. So I know that we all have our insecurities, and I do try and like feel as body positive as possible. So that is letting me embrace my belly button while still kind of like having a new like distraction with it, if that makes sense. But yeah, sorry for the long rant, but I thought while the kids are asleep, it's so difficult to vlog like when they're around, and I want to give them my attention. So speaking of them, I need to get them up from their nap soon.